Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day today. Today's video is just another makeup inventory update. I like to do this quarterly to try and keep myself in line and check, make sure I'm not over consuming and buying too many things. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys like this video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Vivian. I'm a robotics engineer with a love for all things beauty and makeup related, and I love trying new makeup. I am such a beauty connoisseur, but I'm really trying to be better about over consuming, buying too much, having too much in my collection where it just sits there. And so I try very, very hard to be a conscious consumer. I am not perfect and I do buy things occasionally, but for the most part, a large portion of my channel is focused on using up what I have. So if you guys like that type of content, be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already, and let's just hop into it. So if you guys are new to my makeup inventory update series, every quarter of the year, I go through all of the products in my collection. So I like to go through the numbers specifically, and then I have a spreadsheet here, which I've shown the last couple of times I've done a makeup inventory update. So I have the overview of all of the products that are in my collection, what I've added and removed from my collection this past year so far, all of the products I have in every specific category, and I have it all categorized out here. So I find that the spreadsheet is really helpful for me to know like what exactly I'm buying and purchasing and moving it in and out of my collection. And I have color coded the in and out 25 sheet here so that the red lines are any products that I personally bought. Green is what I used up probably through my project pan. Orange are things that I am adding to my collection, but I didn't buy them. They were from PR. And then yellow are things that I am decluttering. There are quite a lot of different types of products here, and I feel like we should just get into the numbers. So in January of 2025, I had 9 primers. In April, I had 11. And now in July, I am back at 8. So this increase is most likely from a little bit of PR, a little bit of me buying things, and the decrease is most likely because of my declutter. I'm not going to go through all of the products that I decluttered, because if you want to see that, I do have the full video posted that I did like go through every single product in my collection and declutter them. I'm also not going to put in overlay photos of all of the products in my collection, just because again, I went through a lot of it in my declutter, and this video is going to focus more on the numbers themselves. Overall, not too bad. I did use up my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer in my project pan recently, so that is one of the decreases. I do want to try and make more use out of those for sure though. So that is one decrease to account for. The rest are probably through my declutter, and yeah, I feel like I have quite a ways to go still. I'm not the biggest primer user, so I still feel like 8 is maybe a bit much, and there might be some duplicity there, so we shall see. I think that 8 is an okay number for now, and I'm glad that there's still like a steady decrease. For foundation, in January I had 14, in April I had 16, and now in July I'm at 15. This is 100% because of my declutter. I did have one addition since my declutter, and that is the Viv Skin Nova Complexion Balm. I literally just got this in the mail today. It was a purchase from the Viv website during their anniversary sale, so I got a decent discount on it, and I've wanted to try this since it came out. It looks like a beautiful, beautiful product, and I love a lot of the Viv products, and so I did pick this up. That does count for one of the 15, but 15 is still maybe a little bit much. That's a lot of foundations for one face, and I do think I need to start to work my way through them a little bit more. I think the next time I roll in a product for my project pan, I am going to try and use up a full foundation, maybe something that I've used a lot. Right now I'm thinking the Summer Friday Skin Tint, because one, I really like that product, and 2, I feel like it's lightweight enough that I would be able to finish it pretty quickly, and I think I've made a lot of progress on that already. That's looking into the future. As of now though, 15 is still a lot. I'm not like super thrilled about that number. I know I did just buy one, but that is where my collection is at. For concealers, in January I had 10, in April I had 11, and right now I am at 9. This is 100% because of my declutter. I have not purchased any concealers. I have not brought in any new concealers, and I'm actively working on my Tower 28 Swipe On Serum Concealer, which I am still working on. I have been working on it for several months now, and every time I go to use it, there's still more product. So I am actively working on trying to reduce this number of concealers. I do feel like I have a really good range of concealers though. Like, I think they all are very unique in their own sense. So I'm not too concerned about the number of concealers I have right now. I feel like concealers are probably the ones that I use more than foundations. And so if there was to be a number that had a little bit more than I necessarily need, I would go with concealers. But 9 is pretty good in my opinion. At least I'm not increasing, and I feel like the 9 that I have are all being used and liked in my collection. For powders, in January I had 13, in April I had 12, and now I'm at 10. So part of this decrease is declutters. Part of this is actually finishing up some powders though. So I did use up the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact powder in this last quarter. At least one of that decrease is from me using up powders in my project pan, and I am currently working on another powder to get through, so I anticipate this decreasing again by the next quarter. I love powders, but I have been very diligent about not buying any new powders, and I don't think there are a ton of new powders that have like really caught my eye lately to even consider purchasing. So I think 10 is a good number for now. A lot of those 10 are loose powders, and I know those are going to take a lot longer to finish up completely. So I am probably going to be at 10 for a little bit here, but I don't think that's like too excessive. For bronzers, in January I had 20, in April I had 21, and now I am at 18. Again, my declutter video is linked here. Most of that decrease is from my declutter. 18 is a lot for bronzers in my opinion, for something that I am not using everywhere, for something that is a step that I skip sometimes. 18 is a lot. I am currently working on one in my project pan right now. That is the Merit Bronze Balm in the shade Sen, which I've really been liking actually. Hopefully this number will decrease a little bit soon. I don't think that's going to be like this next quarter. I think maybe by the end of the year, maybe, if I'm like working really diligently on it, but I am actively working. 18 is insane. I understand that. That's just where we are. The next category are highlighters. In January, I had 5. In April, I had 5, and now I'm at 4. I don't think that this is an insane amount. I don't wear highlighter that often, to be honest. Like, I think highlighter is the step that I skip the most. Yeah, that is still maybe a little bit for how often I use highlighter, which is not very often, but I do think each of the formulas I have is unique, and when I want to feel a little extra glowy, like, I want to have the option. So I don't think it's too bad. I think as long as I'm not buying any more highlighters, and I am very conscious of the fact that I don't use them, and if I want to reach for them, I should reach for the ones in my collection instead of purchasing any new ones. I think I'm happy with that. Still a lot though. I understand that. Blushes is probably my worst category. It has always been my worst category. I am a blush fiend, blushaholic for sure. In January, I had 37. In April, I had 38. And now I'm at 30. Again, look at my declutter video. I know that I declutter a lot, and that doesn't really scream conscious consumerism, but honestly, at least for the past couple of years, it isn't really me buying new blushes. It is more so that I bought a lot of blushes a long time ago, and now I'm like slowly starting to shrink my collection and really curate it towards my preferences now. And my preferences do change a lot. My preferences have changed a lot since I first started wearing makeup and buying all of these products. And so I kind of went off a little bit ago, and I'm slowly starting to rein it in. So I realize 30 is a lot. I'm a blushaholic. I love blush and I have lots of various blushes in shades, colors. I don't think it's like an insane amount of blush compared to what it used to be, but I do acknowledge that it is a lot and I probably won't ever get through all of them, but I am pretty happy with where my collection is at right now and I'm hoping that it stays that way. Again, I don't anticipate any new blush buys anytime soon. Like I have been very, very good about not buying a ton of things. So we'll see. Like I said, 30 is a lot, but it's not the most insane number. So I'm just waiting to see where it ends up later. And like through the next couple of updates, I want to see that trend more than anything. For face palettes are not something that I reach for very often and they're not something that I want to buy very often. So for at least the past like 2 years, I have stayed at 2 face palettes and it's the Vive face palette and the Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm face palette. And those are it. And those are going to stay it for a while. I do like to have options, especially because I travel a lot. The Vive blush palette especially is a super great formula and I like that I get all the different variations in that. So honestly, that's my favorite blush palette out of the 2 that I have, but I'm good with 2. I think I'm gonna stay good with 2 for quite a while. I don't foresee this going up anytime soon. The next item here are eyeshadow palettes, and in January I had 10, in April I had 11, and in July I had 12. So this seems like it is a steady increase, and that's because it kind of is, mostly because I have been on Nabla's PR list for a little bit here and they have been sending me little quads and I love Nabla's formula and their shimmers are beautiful and so I keep accepting the quads. I am not a big eyeshadow wearer, so I haven't purchased any in a very long time, in what feels like a very long time. So I'm not too concerned about this number yet. I do think that 12 is maybe a little bit much for how often I wear eyeshadow, but I honestly do really like all of them. And every once in a while when I do wear eyeshadow, I like to have the option. And again, I think most of it are additions because of PR and not because I'm buying anything. And I think that's an important distinction to make, even though I know that like overall, my collection is increasing. Does that make sense? I think I'm just making up excuses, but I like Nabla and I love their eyeshadow formulas, so I think that's okay. The next category I have here are lip liners. In January I had 14, in April I had 17, and now I'm at 16. Again, look at my declutter video. I feel like I had some duplicate shades in my declutter video, and I do think 16 is a lot. I am definitely trying to work my way through those. I have one in my project pan right now that I'm trying to work my way through. I do think there's still maybe a little bit more room for decreasing there, but again, it's not like, it's not the worst in the world, I guess. The next category here are lip glosses. In January, I had 24. In April, I had 25, and now I'm at 20. I've had a lip gloss in my project pan for almost ever now because I know that I have a lot, and lip glosses are something that are relatively easy to pan and quick to pan, and so I just keep cycling through them. I did just finish up one through my Project Pan series. I have another one in my Project Pan right now. Pretty much every time I finish a lip gloss, I throw in another one, and so I'm hoping that this number just keeps steadily decreasing, although it may take me a really, really long time. For lip balms, in January I had 14, in April I had 14, and now I'm at 13. I don't remember exactly where this decrease is. I think this was just a declutter for the Glossier Balm.com because that's not my favorite formula. I didn't really reach for it very often. My lips are perpetually dry. I'm almost always putting on lip balm. Like I have one in almost every single purse that I have. So yes, it seems like a lot, but I do love my lip balms and I use them quite often. So I'm not upset about this number. I think eventually I'm gonna make my way through all of them or lose them whichever comes first. The next category here are lipsticks. In January, I had 15. In April, I had 15. And now I'm at 11, most likely through my declutter. I did have one addition to my lipsticks, and that is the Viv Powder, again, that I picked up during the Viv anniversary sale. That was a formula that I was wanting to try. I know that people have also been using it as a blush as well. So it seems like a very versatile product, and I'm excited to try it a little bit more. 11 is still a lot for my lipstick preferences, but I don't think that it's that excessive. I think I'm lying to myself, but I don't know if I can part with them anymore. And I don't want to declutter just for the sake of decluttering. Like, when I declutter, it's because I feel like I have a lot of duplicates to my collection, or I just don't love the formula. Like, I don't want to declutter things just so I could have a smaller collection. I really want to be intentional, because even if I am decluttering things, like, most lip products can't get donated. And so I can try and give them away to friends and family, but a lot of that I have to be very mindful of, like, why am I decluttering it? Because I do want it to get used up by someone, even if it's not me. A lot of, like, these lip balms, lip glosses type products are not very hygienic to be donated. So just know that I'm very cognizant of, like, lip products specifically that I am not the biggest fan of. The next product here are eyeliners. In January, I had 19. In April, I had 22, and now I'm at 21. This seems like a lot. Most of those are Nabla Cupid's arrows, and a lot of them are like glittery that I use as eyeshadow toppers and not necessarily liners, but because of the format of the Nabla Cupid's arrows, I'm considering them as eyeliners. Like, I love them, so I'm going to keep them. The formula is so good. Yes, it's a lot. No, I am not going to get rid of them. The next category are mascaras. In January, I had 8. In April, I had 6, and now I'm at 5. I'm never too concerned about mascaras because they are something that you want to go through relatively often and switch out for, like, hygienic purposes. So there's a decrease. I'm trying to be a lot more vigilant about only having one open at a time. We're not quite there yet, but we are slowly getting there. For single shadows, I started off the year in January with 15. In April, there were 16, and now I'm at 14. Again, declutters. I haven't been really buying or wanting to buy any new eyeshadow toppers, single shadow, so I'm pretty comfortable with this, especially because these are the type of products that I reach for the most when I do want something on my eyelids. It is usually just a single shadow, like, wash of glitter all over the lid. I'm okay with this number. For brow products, in January, I had 16. In April, I had 16, and now I'm at 14. Brow products for me have started to become really hard to use up, mostly because my eyebrows are tattooed, and so I don't find myself filling in my eyebrows as much, and brow gels take a really long time to go through. So this number could be decreased a little bit more, especially for, like, brow pencils or brow gels. I feel like there is quite a bit of duplication there, but I don't want to throw them out or declutter just for the sake of decluttering, so I'm trying to make my way through them. Setting sprays, this whole year I have been at 7. I have not increased or decreased any setting sprays, so that's pretty good. I should make my way through them a little bit faster. I just always forget to reach for them when I'm doing my makeup, so that's on me. I should definitely try and use them a little bit more. Maybe I'll even put one in my project pan. I think that might be a good use. That's not too bad. At least I'm not increasing at all. I'm pretty okay with 7. For color correctors, I've been at 3 for this entire year. I don't foresee that increasing or decreasing at all. I have a white, a green, and a blue, and those all have very specific purposes in my makeup collection, and I'm good to keep it with those specific purposes. So I'm good with that. And then for this miscellaneous category, that is literally just my freckle pen, either the Freck Noir or what I had before was the Rudy and Buell collab, like, freckle pen that they have. I almost always have a freckle pen in my collection. I just love faux freckles a lot. I don't need more than one, so I'm happy with the number 1. So in totality, in January, I had 256 products. In April, I had 269 products, and now I'm at 233. If you want to see the breakdown of exactly what is in my collection, I always have this exact spreadsheet that you guys can look at in the description box. So if you guys want to see exactly what I decluttered, exactly what I added, the shades, the date that I added them to my collection, it is all in the spreadsheet right here, and every single category is broken down by product. I have ratings in there too, in case you guys see something that you were wanting to try. If you at least want to see a brief overview of my collection, it is all in the spreadsheet, and it is always in the description box for these videos. I also have a template that you guys can use if you guys also want to track your makeup collection or like your skincare collection. Whatever you guys are feeling, you guys can always add new tabs, but this is what works for me. This is what I have been using this whole year to track my products, and I really like the add and subtract 2025 page, especially because whenever I do these videos, I always forget what I'm adding or removing from my collection. So it's just nice to see like products are actually moving, and this is a lot of products that are moving. I think every time I do these makeup inventory updates, I realize how crazy it is. And every time I feel a little bit bad about how large my collection is. Definitely feel like my makeup purchasing habits have decreased a lot. Like I don't buy nearly as much makeup as I used to, but I think at whatever point I amassed such a large collection that I find it very hard to like decrease by a ton. I also think it's hard to decrease when I do get PR, and I'm so thankful for the PR, do not get me wrong. That does definitely add to like the amount of products that I am consuming. I don't know. I find that it is a very hard balance to keep your collection in line. I feel like declutters all the time are also kind of a bad habit because you're still over consuming and you're making more room for more products, which is not how I am thinking about this, but I do feel bad when I do large declutters like this because it just feels very wasteful to me. I don't know. It's a lot of money that I spent on myself. It's just a lot of wasted product, and I always feel a little bit bad whenever I do my makeup inventory update. Overall, I think I'm doing a lot better than I used to. At this point, I am pretty happy with my collection and where it's at in terms of formulas, consistencies. I do think it is still a large collection. I don't think there will ever be a time where I'll actually be able to use up every single product that I have. I don't think there will ever be a time where I only have one product in each category. I think that's unrealistic for myself, but I don't think it's unrealistic to maintain or slowly use up the products and collection that I already have. We'll see. At this point, it's fine. At least I have curbed my spending habits. I do think that it's like a slow, steady pace, and that I just need to keep chugging along and try and keep using things in my project pan and really try and focus on using more items in my collection. Stay tuned for the next update to see if any of this sticks. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I do feel like I rambled a little bit, and every time I do one of these updates, I kind of beat myself up a little bit for how large my collection is. I think I just need to be better about not buying things, and I am better than I used to be, but I think I need to be even better than what I am now. But we'll see. At least I am keeping myself accountable by having this tracker. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!